episode 36. Trev's Hockey Show here on Trev TV. I'm the Trev. You know that. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, that's too sweet. Anyway, do you remember how bad my playoff predictions were? Why should my award predictions be any different, right? Oh. Of course, this is my episode prediction review / reaction video, and I have to say, right off the bat, I was probably better not predicting these things. Oh, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. We'll get into that. I don't know how else to put it. Like, I didn't do nearly as well as I did last year. Last year I broke even. This year, not so much. Let's talk about it. So right off the bat, if we're counting the conference trophies and the Stanley Cup, I only got one of those right. So if we're counting all those, that's 16 awards given out between the playoffs and the regular season. I only got 6 out of 16. That's terrible. Like I said, last year I got 7 out of 14, but I didn't count the Cup or the Conn Smythe. This year I'm counting everything. So let's go over the ones I did get right. And I'll start with the playoff trophies. The Prince of Wales, I got that right. Of course, it was Boston. The playoff ones I got wrong, obviously, the Campbell Bowl, the Stanley Cup, and the Conn Smythe. Campbell Bowl, Stanley Cup obviously went to St. Louis. For the Conn Smythe, I was going in saying it was either Binnington or Schwartz. It was Ryan O'Reilly. So those were the playoff ones. As for the regular season awards, the ones I did get right, Mark Giordano won the Norris. And I called that one the day the regular season ended. Of course, I didn't put it on video. I put it on Facebook, whatever else. But I got that one right. Nikita Kucherov did win the Hart. And rightfully so. I mean, led the league in assists and points. You know, averaging almost, well, better than 1.25 points per game. Of course. The Masterton Trophy went to Robin Lehner, and I figured it would, you know, with mental illness being the hot topic button. And I'm not saying that to sound insensitive or rude or anything like that. It's just a lot of attention is going to mental health, mental awareness, and sickness issues and all that stuff. Of course, they're going to give it to him, given his background with mental illness, with substance addictions, all that stuff. The Lady Byng, I got right. Alexander Barkov won that one. And I mean, you think about it. 96 points, what was it, 8 penalty minutes? 8 or 10 penalty minutes? I know it wasn't a lot, but he stayed out of the box, which was the important thing. Plus put up a high degree of skill is the best way to put it. And that was basically it for the ones I got right. Yeah, it was sad. It was sad. Now comes the worst part. Let's go over the ones I got wrong. As I mentioned, I already got the Campbell Bowl, the Stanley Cup, and the Conn Smythe wrong. We're going away from that one now. Let's go to the awards that I predicted wrong. The Selke Trophy, I thought was going to Patrice Bergeron, and I think I let the idea of making new history get in the way of a proper prediction, because that went to Ryan O'Reilly. And rightfully so. No, he earned it. He earned it. The Calder Trophy, and this is the one that irks me the most. And I should have maybe... See, when I think of the awards, I think of regular season credentials. I don't think of the overall popular vote. Elias Pettersson won the Calder. I had picked Binnington. And the reason I picked Binnington was because he was very instrumental in the success the Blues had, going from last to the Cup. But this is why that's why I'm not on the writer's board that picks these winners. Who knew, right? Jack Adams Award. I picked Craig Berube. That went to Barry Trotz, who won his second Jack Adams Award now. And in retrospect, maybe that's okay. Trotz isn't a bad winner at all. But if I'm Craig Berube, I'm looking at it as like, okay, yeah, I just lost Coach of the Year, but I guarantee you I got a job now because I helped the Blues win the Cup. So I don't think he's terribly troubled by that. The King Clancy Award, I picked Henrik Lundqvist. That went to Jason Zucker in Minnesota. No arguments. That could have went either way. Lundqvist, Zucker, OEL. Obviously, Zucker won it. The Vezina. I honestly didn't think they were going to give it to Vasilevsky, but they did. I'm still wondering why Marc-Andre Fleury wasn't nominated, but I digress. Ted Lindsay Award, the MVP voted on by the players, I thought was going to Patrick Kane. That went to Kucherov as well. And good on him. Ain't no loss. The Mark Messier Award. I thought because it's no, in past, it's gone to captains. It's always gone to captains, with the exception of last year, going to Derek England, and with the exception of this year, going to Wayne Simmons, who split time between Philly and Nashville. But, he did a lot of work as far as extending hockey to the community and, his charity causes and all that stuff. He earned it, no doubts there. General Manager of the Year, and maybe they asked Don Cherry who should have won this one, because I thought it was going to Don Waddell. It went to Don Sweeney in Boston. Sure, Sweeney makes a good argument for it. Don Waddell took a team that was not supposed to make the playoffs to the conference finals based on moves that nobody thought was going to pay out, but they did. So, it looks good for Waddell. It would look better with the GM award, but, their reasons are their reasons. So why tinker with that? And of course, as mentioned in my prediction video, the William Jennings Trophy was given out to Robin Lehner and Thomas Greiss of the Islanders. The Maurice Richard Award was given to Ovechkin for the 8th time. Why not just rename it the Alexander Ovechkin Award? And the Art Ross went to Nikita Kucherov. So all in all, aside from my predictions being what they are, the biggest highlight I can take away from this award show this year, and I'm glad there wasn't a lot of hockey tragedy based this year as much as there was last year. The overall feeling of it was, it's a complete new generation taking over, and it's kind of evident now in the awards handed out. There was a real heart touchy-feely moment where I forget the kid's name. I'll put it up right about here. He had met Carey Price, who was his favorite player, back in February, and they had an emotional moment, and then he met him again tonight at the awards show. Price came out, gave him a jersey, had a nice little inscription on the 3, asked him if he wanted to go to the All-Star game next year. Yeah. It's good to see that, stuff like that still can bring emotion to even the hardest of people. And I'm not saying I'm a hard person, but it hit me in the feelers. It did. The kid lost his mom to cancer. I don't know outside of that what his parental situation is like, but to be able to have that kind of a connection with a player you idolize like that, it's a good feel-good story. So all in all, aside from my predictions, not a bad night as far as the awards were concerned. So that was episode 36 of Trev's Hockey Show here on Trev TV. I want to thank you for tuning in. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your viewership means so much to me, always has, always will. And I do appreciate every time you guys tune in, watch even just a minute or two of my stuff. It lets me know that I'm on the right track to doing something meaningful, even if it is just to me. But if you like this video, feel free to hit the like. If you didn't like this video, hit the thumbs up anyway. It's all good. It's all good. If you want to, there's that little red button. You know what to do. hit that, and you'll be able to stay up to date with all the content I put out. And if you really want, you can find Trev TV on Facebook at Trev's TV. And if you're still a social media major, you can find Trev TV on Instagram at rockstartrev TV. So moving forward, as far as the hockey show is concerned, well, I've got a couple coming up. There's the draft day coming up. And if I might be afforded one last prediction, Kakko's going first overall. I don't think Jack Hughes is going to go first overall. I think Jack Hughes is going to the Rangers. Kakko's going to the Devils, provided the Devils and the Rangers keep their 1 and 2 picks respectively. That's my prediction. Take it for what it's worth. It's obvious between the awards and the playoffs, I'm not out to win anybody money because my predictions suck this year. And then there's free agency day coming up after the draft, so look out for that. As far as the channel as a whole, I'm still debating if I want to do a prediction/reaction video to WWE Stomping Ground. I know I've got one coming up for AEW's Fighter Fest. And I still got to get back on those review shows of mine. So they're coming. Just be patient. Hang with me on this one. But again, thank you for tuning in. In the meantime, and in between time, be on the lookout for more videos from the Trev. Later.